negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Since Corypheus fell, I think you may have spent more time traveling than I have.
It keeps me out of trouble, Your Worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
You can probably just call her Cassandra in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinia. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria says she is better suited to the battlefield than the Sunburst throne, but she has restored the Chantry. And also people's faith in it. We are lucky to have her.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, Your Worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Orlais. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras, for one. I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier. And of course, there is the Tevinter ambassador. Enjoy time with them while you can, Your Worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
The Imperium sent an ambassador?
Yes, Your Worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. I am glad you saw more clearly than I did.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, Your Worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apology somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your Worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council. Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
The Inquisition still has work to do. We can't let someone's fear push us into disbanding.
Then I wish you luck in the negotiations to come. Make a watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you.
Are you in some kind of trouble? What's happened this time?
So suspicious. I'll have you know I've never been convicted of anything. Officially. This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount...
Provisional Viscount.
Of Kirkwall.
Are you here to represent Kirkwall in the Exalted Council, Viscount Bran?
Provisional Viscount, which sadly is no longer my office. I have resumed my post as Seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now?
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns out you fund enough reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
I might need to sit down. You're the ruler of Kirkwall now. All of it?
That's not that big a deal. I have a really pointy crown that I wouldn't be caught dead wearing, but that's it. They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a compt now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. You should stop by Hightown sometime to see your estate. It's pretty nice. For Kirkwall, anyway.
Proper disposition of empty estates is supposed to...
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
This is possibly too much, Varric. I don't know what to say.
That's nothing. Practically nothing. Don't mention it. Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
Thank you. I'm touched. A little bit horrified by this key now, but still touched.
Please don't give anything else away.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
Here's you, and everyone. Glad to be back, all stuffed together, with the pressure full on. Again. Don't worry, herald of everywhere. I came prepared. I know what everyone needs. Have a good view, then. You're not stopping me.
I expected a roof.
It's early. Anyway, that was a good run. It's all been a good run. I needed that. And I need... You know it's ending, right? We can say it won't, but knobs in places like this, all they do is end things. They'll try a leash. Or worse. But maybe you aren't ready to quit just because some Lord Piddlebits is scared of us.
Do I seem like I'm ready to retire?
I'm tired. I've never done anything for years. Point is, sooner, all this changes. And you've helped me understand. Too much. So it's my turn to help you. See, I have these friends, and all of them were the wrong sort of whatever. Their place changed, or it never was. So together, we made an us. Everyone needs an us. And when the world is done saying no and calls you the wrong sort of whatever, maybe we can be that us for you. What do you think, Inquisitor? Want to run some rooftops as a Jenny?
I don't think I can do what you do. But I'm glad to call you friend.
Then we're still at your back. You'd have a hard time stopping us.
Did we make this trip for nothing?
Balls no. We're gonna drink to tomorrow until it's yesterday.
To all my friends.
Always and ever, Inquisitor. Always and ever.
Sarah was never in the group.
Creepy song is creepy. Ugh.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
I'm late, and you decide to make the Winter Palace rubble.
Eh? Never liked it anyway. Too fancy. So tell me everything that happened while I was away. And Geralf strolls up, hands filled with ripe squashes, and says, "Sir, I must report that it was an utter boondoggle." Maybe you had to be there.
I'm not sure being there would have helped. And please, never do that voice again.
Anyway, it's nice to be back, though I'm not sure what to think of this council. The Wardens will be missing me, but they aren't going to keep me away from a friend who might need my sword arm.
Your aim is atrocious. I'm embarrassed for you.
Think you can do better?
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You found a dog?
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
Poor boy. Well, he seems happy now.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
Something tells me you've never had a dog before.
Not since I was a child. The Circle wasn't keen on pets, especially Kirkwalls. But Skyhold. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Whatever happens, our people, you, Liliana, Josephine, will have my support. In whatever form you require.
I can't imagine the Inquisition without you.
I am honored, and likewise, Inquisitor. You can help. Dodge this, and I'll find overpriced Orlesian dog treats before we go.
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
And that makes you sad.
It is easier on the heart to just see gilding. Now all I can see are the knives in the shadows, the poison in jeweled goblets. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
Anyone with their wits should fear us. We command more people than some countries.
It is not our secrets, nor our soldiers. There have always been spy masters and private armies. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. When the time comes, consider giving them what they want.
I will not destroy the Inquisition.
Don't you know me by now? They cannot act against what they cannot see. Publicly, I will of course retire from this life, as one would expect. Let them think they've finally won. I shall take up charity work, become a patron of the arts, as all respectable women of my age do. And perhaps take on a protégé. Our work never ends, Inquisitor. We just need fewer witnesses.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
Well, that's very generous.
I know. I even surprise myself sometimes.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. How are your international relations with our favorite Tevinter Magister-to-be?
Are you digging for gossip, Vivienne? Trying to get me to give up the juicy details?
Merely expressing concern for your well-being, my dear. Someone ought to.
Do you come to the spa very often?
As often as I can. Sadly, no more than twice a year at best. Duty first. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
Ole is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Inquisitor, how long has it been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
You arrived ahead of me. I hope all's well.
It's everything I expected. We've been spared the burden of surprise. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Ole wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is a good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Not at all. The Jarl of Redcliffe was telling me of events in Denerim. He represents Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I had hoped to steal a moment of the Divine's time.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
I am supposed to be impartial while speaking for the Chantry, but I confess that neutrality is beyond me. I may be the Divine, but I will always be your friend. And I can hardly ignore the fate of the Inquisition that I began.
When world powers want to discuss plans for the future, I get nervous.
I share your concern. The Inquisition is still needed. Some delegates do not yet understand that. I must attend to other matters. If you need me, I am ready to assist. Unconditionally.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
I appreciate knowing where Ferelden stands.
You are owed that, Inquisitor, especially here. These Orlesians will talk circles around you before you get a simple greeting out. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you. Or want you. It may even kill you. But we'll miss you. If it counts. And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Tommen never wanted any. I swear.
Leave him.
It's true. When the Exalted Council has ended, I'm going back to Tevinter. For good, this time.
Ah, I see.
I didn't want you to find out like this. Frankly, I've been dreading this conversation, but here it is. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
So you'll truly be a Magister?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, Amatus. I won't be entirely without support. Maeveris has gathered other Magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the Magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
What of us? This is it, then?
Nonsense. There will always be an us. We'll just be farther apart for a time. Now, don't pout. They'll put that expression on a statue, and then you'll be sorry.
You think this is funny?
Nothing about this is funny. I am sorry, for what it's worth.
I wish you safe travels, and the best of luck.
Oh, I'll need it, thank you. Magisters are tricksy bastards. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... Magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are the man I love, Amatus. Nothing will truly keep us apart. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back. Quite the party, wasn't it? I hear it left the Orlesians and Fereldans completely aghast. Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor, toasting a Tevinter Magister. Not a bad scandal to leave.
It's been quite a day so far, has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence, but the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Then why can I still see those wheels turning in your head?
Work carries a certain momentum. The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
Perhaps you're right. These meetings and talks don't allow for much leisure time.
And then back to Skyhold without a moment's pause to take in where we are. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
If it let me dodge any pre-council meetings, you could drag me back to Adamant.
I do hope it will be more pleasant than that. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
This was your idea of a restful evening?
Ah, wasn't it lovely? It's been so long since I've gone to the opera. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
What I really enjoyed was seeing you put your duties aside for a change.
I truly did. Thank you for coming. It's been too long since I just spent an evening doing... nothing.
Here's to nothing. May it happen to us more often in the future.
Oh, look! The encore signal!
Oh.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Well, I wanted to speak with you, and now you're here.
I am. What's on your mind?
Maybe you should sit.
I can stand.
Maybe I should sit. Inquisitor, I want you to know that I am your friend. I will always be your friend.
Oh, well, that's...
So I hope to give you sound advice on this momentous day. Do what is in your heart, my friend, no matter what anyone might tell you.
I really can't imagine what you mean.
I'm talking about marriage.
Marriage?
Of course, Dorian being Tevinter will raise eyebrows across the Empire, but if that is you... You're not proposing to anyone. I am going to kill Varric. Why do I believe everything he says? Why?
He said I was going to propose?
He mentioned a proposal. I suppose I filled in the blanks. Or he did this on purpose. That dwarf gets entirely too much joy from my discomfort.
You're adorable.
There are far worse things to be. Being Inquisitor has brought you good things. Many good things. But only a few have been by your choice. Take what happiness you can from those and do not let them go. That is all I meant to say. Advice from a friend for the days to come.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
We were protecting the citizens of Ferelden, because you couldn't.
The Mage Rebellion made it difficult to keep order, Artigan. The Inquisition was only offering help.
Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. The Inquisition is the only reason Selene still has the throne.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Sister Leliana asked to speak with you in private.
Something has come up. I'll be back.
What?
This is highly irregular.
Are we not even worth the Inquisitor's time?
Inquisitor, I thought you would want to see this. A Canary warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
Would the Iron Bull know anything about this?
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. He says that if this were an official Canary operation, he would know. That suggests we're dealing with a rogue faction.
So what would the left hand of the Divine see when she looked at this?
This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Canary military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how?
We need to find out what's going on. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will ask Divine Victoria to call a recess for now. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
An active Eluvian? If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone. This is the crossroads. Morrigan brought me here while showing me the Eluvians.
It's pretty, I guess. Kind of stretchy. Ugh. Too many colors.
I'd forgotten all the colors.
What are you talking about? Everything's all gray.
But there's patterns all over. It's like glass from, where's it? Sorol, isn't it?
I wonder if it somehow looks different to elves.
How would that work? Eyes are eyes, or supposed to be. Oh, stupid place.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry.
Here we go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
Right, here we go. What's the story with the weeds?
Terrible stuff. Looks like grass, stings like a knife, and causes sores if you so much as brush against it. So, of course, everyone in Manrathus insists it makes a very decent tea.
So, we're getting the band back together. That's exciting.
Don't tell me the Viscount of Kirkwall misses skulking around and shooting people.
You've never been to the Viscount's Keep, have you, Sparkler? Spend 2 hours there and you'll be glad to be shot.
Why did those Canari attack the Inquisition on sight? If the Qun want us dead, we're facing the wrath of an entire nation.
Well, at last the Inquisition and Tevinter have something in common.
That's Fenharel, removing a Dalish elf's Valasleen.
Not Dalish. They weren't Dalish yet, right?
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. Hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Ebenuris, posing as gods.
Interesting word, Ebenuris. If all it means is mage leader, well, they were basically magisters.
The Dalish. are going to shit themselves.
This letter says the Qunari came to these ruins because the Alluvians connect to Halam Shiral. It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details. Let's look for anything that explains why the Qunari came here before we go. A note about an unknown intruder coming through an Alluvian. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
It must be a mage. They killed any Qunari in the way and let the spirits do the rest.
Two parties, then. The Qunari and a mystery agent determined to stop them.
One dead Qunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Inquisition has an alliance with the Qunari. Why would they attack us?
They also have no reason to be here, or using Illuvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now.
The Qunari can't hide forever. They're inside those Alluvians somewhere.
We must ensure that the Qunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
Could we use the Qunari threat to remind everyone how valuable the Inquisition still is?
Not until we know more. It will be fine. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Qunari are doing, and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
Hello, and shh. I'm trying to figure out why everyone is acting so weird. I mean, besides because Qunari assassins and everything. You see it, right? There's something going with the elf servants. Makes sense after that ruin, right?
When you start going on about elves, it's hard to tell if it's about them or you.
Yes, you're ever so clever. Arse. Point is, the servants have no complaints. No asking for a Jenny. They serve this lot, but don't want them done for anything.
So, the nobles are nice and the servants are happy?
Two things that have never been true. Mark that I said it. We're fighting Qunari, but something else is on the up.
I suppose you've a lot to say about that elven ruin. About the creators.
They're not even demons, just big magey knobs punching down. And yes, the shits who use them to make me feel broken can still eat it. But always waiting for that fight is way too much work. It's like doing half the hurt for them. Maybe we're old now, but I'm tired of it. I'd rather worry about people I care about. Like you. Are you all right with it? The creators?
I'll make sense of it, eventually.
Good that someone's trying. Better that it's you, because you can do it. Oh, one thing. I have a new Jenny near Wycombe. Says he saw when your clan... Well, I'm sorry that got lost while everything was happening. He says there could be survivors. A few. But they would have got away by being hard to find, so... He'll keep looking? For what it's worth, anyway. Not much, I suppose, but there you go.
If you've lost touch with the Ben Hasrath, what of our alliance?
Well, the last time I heard from them, we were great. You killed Corypheus, sealed the breach, and closed a ton of rifts. They couldn't ask for more. This whole operation has to be a mistake. Bring me with you, and we'll figure it out. I promise.
I can't believe it's been so long.
Around 2 years.
Too long, Amatus. Did you miss me?
I couldn't stand that you were gone.
Such a soft heart for an Inquisitor.
What did you do in Tevinter while you were away?
I went home. Twice. Father was only there once. Mother was drunk both times. I also went to Carinus to see my good friend Maeveris. Then I settled some of Alexis's affairs. That wasn't fun.
What is this ambassadorship about, exactly?
I believe my father set it up, but the Imperium certainly didn't object. They'd love for the Inquisition to fall apart. So they're happy if it seems they consider this council a waste of time.
That makes no sense.
No? If Dread Winter actually pushed for the Inquisition's end, everyone else would disagree on principle. So they send a nobody pariah and hope for the best. Makes perfect sense to me.
Any thoughts about the Exalted Council?
A few. Divine Victoria needs a new tailor for one. Cassandra in a flowy dress just seems wrong. And that hat does her no favors. As for this whole Exalted Council business, well... I warned you once that no one would thank you for saving the world. Sadly, I'm always right. So long as the Inquisition's around to remind them they're not really in charge, they'll never sleep comfortably. Whether they have the guts to take action, I suppose we'll see.
Another time.
I look forward to it.
Tell me, these strange spaces past the Alluvians, are they safe to explore?
Probably not. We know almost nothing about how their magic works.
I think in this case, I would have preferred a polite fiction. You've accomplished so much in the calm of these past years. I wish you did not have to imperil yourself for us. Again.
I must admit, after years of dinners and paperwork, feels good to go exploring again.
I only wish you had fewer Canari interrupting your stroll. I will do what I can here. Once the Canari are dealt with, brace yourself. The Council is just as relentless.
Hey, Ben Abasto Hasot. Guess they didn't feel like talking.
That path wasn't there before.
It's the Canari, right? Rocks can't move themselves.
Those Canari can't have gotten far. Be ready.
Why do Nelfi Mirror dump us in the middle of dwarfy things? And why do we keep going through them?
We need to find out what these Canari were up to. So let's go see, shall we? Look at all that. The Canari have a huge operation here.
Yeah, but for what? That catwalk. I can't believe the Arcana let it out of Parfallen. Boss, your hand's doing that thing again.
Well, maybe the anchor can make itself useful down here.
How desperate are the Canari to work in these conditions?
Who finds a place like this and digs in? What are they doing? How's it not stupid?
Stay back! Oh, wait. Your hand. Are you the Inquisitor?
Odd to find a human down in the deep roads at all, let alone surrounded by Canari.
We don't have much time. Please, what the Vidasala is doing, you have to stop her.
The Vidasala? That's a high-ranking Bin Hasrath. Specializes in magic. Finding, studying, stopping.
Not anymore. I don't care whether you serve Fenharel or not. Someone has to stop her.
Why do the Canari think that the Inquisition serves Fenharel?
I don't know. The Vidasala said it, and well... You're Dalish. It made as much sense as anything. We've had agents of Fenharel causing trouble all over the crossroads. Sabotage, making spirits attack us. I assume the Inquisition was their army. That you came here because Fenharel told you to.
Who are you, exactly?
My name is Jeren. Sir Jeren, once. I was a Templar in Kirkwall, until I joined the Qun.
You're Canari?
Kirkwall was... madness. Chaos. The Canari were like the eye of a storm. I stand for order and discipline. Protecting the innocent from magic. But this plan... it's as mad as Meredith ever was.
Give me one reason I should listen to anything you say.
If I wanted to lie to you, I probably wouldn't say anything this damning. This place is a lyrium mining and processing center. The Canari need it for... Have you ever heard of Sarabas?
Dangerous thing. It's what the Qun calls mages.
Even as a Templar, I'd never seen anything like the power Sarabas can unleash. And now Vidasala is giving them lyrium. A lot of lyrium. It's part of something she calls Dragon's Breath.
That's a load of crap. There's no way the Vidasala would let any Sarabas within 1,000 feet of lyrium.
There's more to it than that, but I couldn't find out what. The Canari don't like it when you ask too many questions.
What are you doing down here?
The Canari wanted me to teach them everything I knew about lyrium. Where it comes from, everything it can do, how we put it to use.
I knew enough from my time in the Order. They figured out more. I'm not sure how. Maybe they got to the Carter.
The Qunari can't be mining their own lyrium. It kills anyone who tries, other than dwarves.
It killed the Qunari at first. But Qunari workers have a discipline only Tranquil can match. And they're quick learners. They figured it out.
Why give the Cerebos more power? What does Zavidasala want them to do?
She said it would save the South. That can mean only one thing. An invasion. This mine is the only source of lyrium the Qunari have. They're using Gatlock, the explosive powder in the round casks, to mine, so they don't have to touch raw lyrium. If you get the primers from Central Supply, you can prime the Gatlock and detonate it. The mines will go up in flames.
Once things start exploding, every Qunari down here will notice.
You're right, they will. Deep Stalkers and Cave-ins will cut off reinforcements, but they'll still come when they hear trouble. You've got to find the Vidasala to end this war before it begins.
You gave secrets to the Qun that would condemn everyone. I can't leave that unpunished. Let's go. We have a lyrium mine to ruin.
Why are dwarves so short but carve their tunnels so tall?
You should see the towers of Menrathus, designed with all the subtlety of a peacock with croup.
Seen them.
They're hard to imagine if... What? What do you mean you've seen them?
I go places. Sorry, you don't get to explain the topic today.
Keep feeling like I'm gonna bang my horns on this crap.
Let me go up front then. I'm as good in a fight as you are.
Damn right. You're about the most dangerous person I know. A real Cerebas.
Try to stitch my lips and you're a pincushion. With arrows.
They don't make a thread strong enough to hold your tongue.
And that's what she said. I think.
Are you at all concerned about fighting your people, Bull?
If this were an authorized operation, I'd have heard about it. This has to be some rogue group of Talvashal. We'll figure it out and make it right. So don't worry. Unless we run into Venatori.
Cold stone, dark tunnels, and surrounded by extremely hostile Qunari. Not the place I'd have chosen for a romantic homecoming, Amatus.
I'm just happy you're back. It was hard being on my own again for so long.
Well, yes. Being deprived of me for so long would test anyone. Halam Shiral's guest suites are legendary. I've always wanted to try a wiven-down bed. Can Josephine arrange something? Look at all that lyrium. I think I just heard the entire Magisterium cry out in envy.
That's it. Let's get out of here and warn the others about this Dragon's Breath plan.
Maybe Red's got news from her sources by now. We can ask her. You know, assuming we make it out of here without drowning.
Who gets to tell Cullen and Josephine we're probably at war with the Q? Anyone?
As if.
They're gonna kill me.
Dragon's breath. The Qunari always enjoy their metaphors.
But what does it mean?
Who knows? Qunari agents moving through Illuvians to attack the south is bad enough already.
I still do not understand why they accused the Inquisition of serving Fenarel.
Corypheus tried to set himself up as a god. Maybe someone who knows Elven history is doing the same.
But how does that implicate us? What made them decide that the Inquisition serves this Fenharel?
Hopefully we will learn more after we have stopped them.
Let's see the Exalted Council try to disband the Inquisition after we've saved them from this Dragon's Breath.
We must find out what Dragon's Breath is first. For now, our only lead is the Qunari leader, the Vidisala.
Gentlemen!
My apologies, Lady Josephine. There has been an incident with one of your soldiers.
How dare you? It was bad enough that the Inquisition chose not to inform the Exalted Council of the Qunari corpse.
Ole would have been happy to help with the matter.
But now your own guards are attacking servants? You have overstepped your bounds.
We have more important things to worry about than scuffling soldiers.
While the Exalted Council is our foremost priority, the Inquisitor will, of course, address this matter personally.
Thank you, Inquisitor. Ole stands ready to assist the Inquisition, as always.
Secrets and lies. Do you understand why we fear your Inquisition? You act as if you're the solution to every problem. How long before you drag us into another war?
What's going on here?
The Orlesians tried to take one of our people, Inquisitor. We've secured the area.
This is the Winter Palace. You cannot simply seize control when one of your guards attacks a servant.
The Inquisition is handling this. When some noble commits a crime of fashion, you can take over.
I only asked what he was doing.
And when I refused to bow to the Inquisition's dogs, you attacked me! How would you like us to handle the situation, Inquisitor?
That barrel there. Where did it come from?
I was ordered to bring wine for the guests.
You're lying.
Your Inquisition soldiers are completely out of control.
No, we're in control. Keep talking and you'll find yourself in chains.
I apologize for my guard's actions. My people will take her into custody, with your permission.
As you say, Inquisitor, Lord Cyril will hear about this.
Inquisitor, I also found this by the barrel. I can't read the language.
Did you resolve the problem with the guard?
The guard is the least of our problems. Someone smuggled Gatlock barrels into the Winter Palace.
Smile, Inquisitor. There are many eyes upon us. At least now we know the true extent of the dragon's breath.
How are you still smiling?
Years of training as a bard, Inquisitor. We cannot show weakness now. Enemies could be watching, or we can let them seize idle conversation between two friends.
You think the dragon's breath is these Gatlock barrels?
Of course. A surprise attack, even through the Illuvians, would have met fierce resistance. But if everyone at the Exalted Council died in an explosion, the South would be rudderless, vulnerable to attack. This is what Corypheus should have done after the explosion at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. An attack as swift and unstoppable as the breath of a dragon.
The guard who confronted the servant said she found this note near one of the barrels. It looks like Qunari writing.
Let me see. I picked some up from the Iron Bull, though I'm told my accent is atrocious. These are orders for positioning the Gatlock in the palace. When duty has been performed, report to the Vidisala through the mirror marked by a bookcase.
Mirror marked by a bookcase. I'm on my way.
Good. While you do that, I will have agents locate the Gatlock barrels and remove them safely. I will also send word to my foreign contacts. We must see where else this dragon could strike. Andaran Atishan, Mithadra Elven.
More ancient Elven.
If you wish, honored Elven, I will speak so your guests understand. I am study. I am a learning thirst. Come, know what has not been lost. New words, new stories. The Qunari would not approach, but we learned their words as well. If you wish to exchange knowledge, they congregate by the lower gate.
I'm looking for a Qunari called Vidisala. Do you know what she wants here?
Vidisala, yes. She uses scholars and mages for study. They fear this place, but they seek to know the Veil.
What does Vidisala want to know about the Veil?
I regret I do not have more information. I am sundered from myself. If you discover another one of me nearer the Qunari, I may know more. Kindly give it my greetings. I have not thought with myself for some time.
What did the old elves use this place for?
This is the Vir Tirthara, the living knowledge of the Empire. The libraries of every city, the wisdom of every court. A connecting place whose paths are in disarray.
What put this place into disarray?
The Vir Tirthara was made with world and fade. When they sundered, so did we. Paths broke, knowledge fragmented. Many were trapped. I preserved their last words.
What were these old elves' last words?
What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths? God save me. The floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me... on this spot, that is all.
Thanks. Really paints a picture.
I could learn so much about my people. What were they like? How long is our history?
I will try to record, honored patron, but there are gaps, breaks. Greetings, laughter, Ema Enasal, forms out of air, light, memories.
And yet there are so many broken parts at every... missing. I cannot. There is no more. Apologies. I knew all once. We knew. With the break, only fragments or knowledge new since the fall.
We'll be going now.
Know this. An unknown person, not of the Kunari, recently woke the librarians.
An unknown person? Could this be our agent of Fen'Harel?
The librarians facilitated learning before the fracture, before the fall. Now, beware them. They are unwell.
Did you notice? Your anchor is flaring up near magic. Elven magic.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Tell us if it gets worse.
Welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the dread wolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evenuris will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
That can't be true. The veil's always been there. No one made it.
If it's true, that means the Fade and the waking world were once one and the same.
Floating crap, magic mirror crap, evil demon crap. When this is over, I'm gonna need somebody to hit me with a stick again.
That works. It isn't over, and I already want to hit things with sticks.
I'm not sure whether I want that to be a metaphor or not.
Next time we get the gang back together, let's do a dragon instead. Dragons are fun. That's really not getting better, boss.
The pain stopped.
It's worse, right? You need to not get worse. Please?
Welcome, and listen to the last words of those who walked this place. If we get out of here, I will end Fen'Harel. After he held back the sky to imprison the gods, the dread wolf disappeared. Lies. We must tear down the veil, the cities, the pathways. Without magic, they're crumbling. You're wasting your time. Fen'Harel's veil has turned our empire to ruins.
So the ancient Elven Empire collapsed because the veil weakened magic?
If the old elves relied on magic even more than the Vince, no wonder things went to crap when it dried up.
Do you realize what this means? What this place is? The actual history of the elves could change everything. Look at this place. Now that we have so many samples, how hard would it be to build Illuvians of our own?
Dorian, how about you not be so Tevinter about the ancient bullshit?
After these past few years, it would just be good to create something magical that is also helpful for a change.
Survivor of the breach, herald of change, hero of the South.
The Vidisala, I presume.
Wow.
After fulfilling your purpose at the breach, it is astonishing to hear you still walked free among your people. Your duty is done, Inquisitor. It is time to end your magic.
I've defeated all your Ben Hasrath so far.
So you have. The repercussions have already begun. I am no stranger to catastrophe, but this chaos in the south defies comprehension. The Qun left your people to curb your own magic. You've amply proven we should have stepped in long ago.
Corypheus had a one-of-a-kind artifact. The veil is safe.
Do you believe closing the breach solved everything? That its consequences stopped there? The day we saw the breach, the Qun decided its action. We would remove your leaders and spare those who toil. This agent of Fen'Harel has disrupted everything. Lives that were to be spared, lost for him.
Who is this agent? Why would you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Dargarad.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
Can you tell me where a Qunari called the Vitisala went?
Yes, we heard much. Although she fooled herself into thinking we could not hear. Take a keystone to the Davarad. I will join you there soon and take stock of our remaining Gatlock powder.
I found a keystone with one of the Qunari.
Yes, and you need words for their key. Maras Nira. It glows. It will open the way to the Davarad. May you find what you seek. In coming here, you strengthen the bonds. I can now raise one, if you wish to go.
You've been very helpful.
Gil Dethan was what the Elven called me. One who guides seekers of knowledge true. I was connection. One city could read the records of another. One Elven feel the memories of another. When the veil fell upon us, I marked the end of all they knew.
We've got to find this Darvarad and corner Vitisala there.
Your agents confirm there are Gatlock battles in Denerim's palace?
Yes, and in Valroyo and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Qunari are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
There is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
I take it you have new information.
The elven servant handling the barrels has disappeared. Notes in his quarters suggest he was a Qunari spy.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
And the Qunari turned them into spies.
The Inquisition stopped Corypheus and saved the world. We can't let an outside threat change who we are.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this exalted council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies. You hid the Qunari body. You've all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak. And perhaps they are right.
It's fine. It's under control for now. But we don't have a lot of time. I need to get to the Darvarad.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
We can't finish this fight while worrying about the Exalted Council. For now, we keep this to ourselves.
Understood, Inquisitor.
I'll have guards ready at the Alluvion, in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make a watch over you.
Red told us what happened with your hand.
Why didn't you say something? I could have... I don't know, something.
Whatever happens, I wouldn't trade the years we've had together for anything. I love you.
I knew you would break my heart, you bloody bastard.
Right. Last time to be legend. Try to keep up.
It's been an honor to kick asses beside you all. Anan. Whatever's going on in here, I know we don't have the whole story. It can't be as bad as it seems. My contacts would have said something. If an invasion were coming, I'd know about it.
Is that an astrarium? How did the Qunari move it here?
And one of those weird keys you can only find with a tranquil skull.
That sounded bad. Hold on a little longer.
Morrigan said the key to an Alluvion could be anything, including knowledge or power. So they're stockpiling both. That's how they got the keystone and opened so many of the Alluvions we've seen.
Hopefully they don't have any more ancient magic crap to throw at us. That dragon skull would make a wicked armchair, though. Maybe we could take it back to Skyhold after this.
Dragon's breath is an actual dragon?
Tethar! Bars!
Inquisition! Nira Tasiasara! Niraba Sadim Kata! Hisrat, now! Please! Vinekatas!
Understood, ma'am. Change of plans. Nothing personal. Boss.
So, the Iron Bull. Trust a Canary and see where it gets you.
This whole time? Just friggin' Lophorn son of a pissing shit? Urgh.
Vishanta Kafas.
Come on. Let's move.
Hashara! Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
If these agents of Fen Harel are a threat, we'll handle them.
How, when you have never defeated anything without their assistance? You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Solus, agent of Fen Harel.
That's stupid. It is, right? I mean... Wait. Oh, piss.
Whatever Solus is involved in, I'm nobody's puppet.
Even now, you refuse to see the strings. Solus tricked us all. He pushed a dying Canary into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Hanahaden, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solus will not outlive you.
Vidisala's not killing Solus. I'm killing Solus. Come on. It's Gorgeous! Everyone back!
That can't be healthy. Perhaps Solus can help.
Hated is too smart for you, Pity, before the whole Agent of Fenny business. He better help. We're owed.
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Canary to trouble me no further.
solace.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
The Canary answered some of those questions. The information I found while traveling through the Alluvians answered more. You're Fen Harel. You're the Dread Wolf.
You have grown clever since I left. I was soulless first. Fen Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Are you a fragment of what Fen Harel once was? Like Mythal?
No. This is all I have ever been.
And the legends?
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via de Thara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods? You didn't kill them?
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. Crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
The Evanurus were elven mages? How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the Elven people, even if it means this world must die.
You're going to destroy this world?
Not happily.
I'll have to stop you.
I know you will try. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Canary forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Isn't it? Perhaps we should ask your friend, the Iron Bull. Tell me, where is he? Do you know how I discovered the Canary plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Canary spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Canary body, Who intercepted the servant with the gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Canary plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
I will do what I must. But there is no benefit in allowing harm to come to innocents before it's necessary. And the Canary offended me.
So you let us do your dirty work?
The mistake was yours to fix, Inquisitor.
The Canary said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Divinta Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
You'd murder countless people.
Wouldn't you to save your own? You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
The fault is hardly yours. The veil was my creation. Another of my countless mistakes.
You never cared about us. We were the means to an end.
You have a castle, an army, and a title that leaves every world leader quaking in fear. Be content.
You control the Illuvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Canary stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes. Ultimately, none but I could have borne the mark and lived. Your death would cause more senseless chaos, more bloodshed. It is unnecessary. Though I doubt you will thank me. Live well, while time remains.
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Canary.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
We apologize for not informing the summit beforehand. We were concerned.
Of course you were! The Canary spies were inside your organization!
Without our organization, none of us would be here to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
You all know what this is. A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. The Inquisition saved the people of Ferelden when you couldn't. We are not disbanding. And we are certainly not submitting to an emperor who only sits on his throne because we put him there. There's worse coming than anything you've yet seen. So we'll play nice. We'll bow. Not to you. The Inquisition will act as Divine Victoria's personal honor guard. Answering directly to her, we will transition from a military force into a peacekeeping organization. My own adventuring days may be done, but the Inquisition and its mission will continue.
found in our palace.
By the side of the divine, Cassandra seeks the truth and finds her warring blade cut so sublime. Royal hearts and devouring minds, varied charms with clever words, vendor of exotic goods, writer of salacious books, a rogue, a dwarf with rugged looks, soulless, mysterious elf and mage, mastered magic by his own hand, not a Dalish or a city elf, skeptic born into lovely land, Dorian rebuilt against countrymen, a mage from the Taverner Imperium, charming and suave and just slightly suspect. These are the early days we defend. And then the later ones came to the fate, like Sarah who stayed to tempt their fate. But we all know she was but a rogue, the taverns still sing her name. Blackwall, a secretive grey warden, proud of his life in isolation, brooding and strong, protector of all, recruiting the brave to join the cause. Iron Bull's loyal, indulgent one, a past brilliant agent of those who run. The Bull's charges now stay in his sight, but he still finds the time to roar through the night. Vivian, Madame de Fer, respect of the mages throughout the world, ruthless to fight by Inquisitor's side, defying expectations only to rise. And then there's the Corso revered evermore, like Commander Cullen, who led his men through the Inquisition. A Templar, a knight who stayed with the fight, stout and bright. Oh, Sister Nightingale, spy mistress veiled in beauty and bow. Or Elysian bard, both tender and hard, brave and bold. Joseph and noble with bright acumen, with grace and charm in hand, ambassador to the wealthy and shrewd, endeared through the land. The Inquisitor surely stands because of these souls we sang. By the side of the divine, Cassandra seeks the truth and finds her warring blade cut so sublime. Royal hearts and devouring minds, varied charms with clever words, vendor of exotic goods, writer of salacious books, a rogue, a dwarf with ragged looks, soulless, mysterious elven mage, mastered magic by his own hand, not a Dalish or a city elf, skeptic born into lovely land. Dorian rebelled against countrymen, a mage from the Taverner Imperium, charming and suave and just slightly suspect. These are the early days we defend. And then the later ones came to the fate, like Sarah who stayed to tempt their fate. But we all know she was but a rogue, the taverns still sing her name. Blackwall, a secretive grey warden, proud of his life in isolation, brooding and strong, protector of all, recruiting the brave to join the cause. Iron Bull's loyal, indulgent one, a past brilliant agent of those who run. The Bull's charges now stay in his sight, but he still finds the time to roar through the night. Vivian, Madame de Fer, respect of the mages throughout the world, ruthless to fight by Inquisitor's side, defying expectations only to rise. And then there's the Corso revered evermore, like Commander Cullen, who led his men through the Inquisition. A Templar, a knight who stayed with the fight, stout and bright. Oh, Sister Nightingale, spy mistress veiled in beauty and vow. Or Elysian bard, both tender and hard, brave and bold. Josephine noble with bright acumen, with grace and charm in hand, ambassador to the wealthy and shrewd, endeared through the land. The Inquisitor surely stands because of these souls we sang. By the side of the divine, Cassandra seeks the truth and finds her warring blade cut so sublime. Royal hearts near Varan minds, varied charms with clever words, vendor of exotic goods, writer of salacious books, a rogue, a dwarf with...
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
Maintaining the Inquisition, even as a peacekeeping force, leaves us vulnerable to agents of the Dread Wolf.
But also gives us the strength to respond.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will stop Solus by any means necessary.
What is this? A new book? All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking? The sky churned like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day. Comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition. The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row. Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine. Enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet. Liliane enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death. Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor, they mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic. Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says. Place your herald above the law, ambassador. Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law. Left our mark on adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening here? Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually. The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen, That's Cullen. The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible. The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric. Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed. Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me? That dwarf, he put me in the book! I'm in the book! I am reading the shit out of this!
By the side of the divine, Cassandra seeks the truth and finds her warring blade cut so sublime, royal high.